wants to call up Arizona? Who wants to call up Arizona State, Colorado, Utah, and tell them it is time to bail from the Pac-12 and it is time to join the Big 12? That's what has to happen, and it has to happen ASAP. Pete Mundo, HeartlandCollegeSports.com. It's great to be here with you for another show. So, first off, let's be very clear about all this, all right? Oregon wants out of the Pac-12. If you didn't see reports this week, Oregon reportedly met with the Big Ten, unofficially, just exploring things in Chicago. Brett McMurphy of the Action Network reported that this week. If you are Arizona, if you are Arizona State, if you are Colorado, if you are Utah, tell me why you're hanging around. Tell me why you're sticking around the Pac-12 right now. What is your incentive to stick with that league? I can't figure it out for you. I would like an answer. And if you are being smart right now, the Four Corners schools, as they're being called, you would bail. You would jump ship. You would not stay anywhere near this league. When that report leaked this week, it was a clear sign that, guess what? Oregon is not sticking around this conference. Oregon is not going to hang around the Pac-12, and they are not going to be an anchor in this league for as long as they can prevent it, by the way. They may have to for a couple of years, but they do not want to be a part of this conference. Let's make that very clear out of the gates. They want no part of it, all right? So if you're somebody else, if you're Colorado and you can get out of the Pac-12 and go back to the Big 12, why would you not do that yesterday? So why wouldn't you do it? If you're the Arizona schools, what are you doing sitting around that league right now? If you're Utah, who's already made the move to the Power 5, are you going to risk going back to basically to a watered-down Pac-12 with a bunch of Mountain West schools? Is that what you want? If you're Utah, who has set yourself up to be a great and very prominent Power 5 college football program, no, you don't want to go back to that. So when this story came out this week, I was very surprised because I thought even if that happened, I didn't think that we were going to be in a situation where where Oregon was going to be out there and having that story leak. And Oregon had that story leak. I couldn't believe it. But to me, it was telling that the story leaked. To me, that story leaking was a sign that Oregon was signaling to the rest of the league, guess what? We're out of here. As soon as we can, we're out of here. Now, what's holding this back potentially? What is holding back Oregon? What is holding back the Big Ten? Well, according to reports this week, what may be holding this back is the fact that the Big Ten doesn't want to be directly responsible for destroying the Pac-12. It's kind of too late. Who wants to let Kevin Warren of the Big Ten know it's kind of too late there, Kev? You already did that. No matter what Pac-12 Commissioner George Kliavkoff says, and George Kliavkoff has been on this weird mission where he's blaming everybody but himself, and everybody but USC and UCLA, and everybody but, the Big Ten, the team that you had this dopey alliance with the ACC that then poached you behind your back when you never saw it coming for your two LA schools. Maybe be mad at them, Kevin Warren. There's a novel I know it's a novel concept, but there's a novel concept for Kevin Warren. For George Kliavkoff. Be mad at Kevin Warren. Be mad at USC. Be mad at UCLA. Don't be mad because the Big 12 is trying to take advantage of it. Don't be mad because the Big 12 is like, hey, anyone else want out while we're having the conversation? Anybody else want to jump ship? So just be sure to follow this story because we could have some movement on this very quickly. All right? And please do. I just got right into it. But if you are on the podcast, please do rate, review, subscribe. If you are right now on Facebook Live, well, you're already following us there. And make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel as well because we have a lot more content. That's going to be coming your way on the YouTube channel here as the season gets rolled out. A week from this Thursday. I can't believe a week from this Thursday, you get the Backyard Brawl a week from this Thursday. I'm just pulling up the schedule here. You got the Backyard Brawl a week from Thursday. And then on top of that, you got Oklahoma State Central Michigan. Now, if you're maybe just a casual Big 12 fan, you may not remember what that game is all about. But don't forget, it was 6 years ago that Central Michigan pulled off that stunning upset in Stillwater. So even that game has a little bit more juice than maybe it's had in the past. So we are rocking and rolling 9 days from now in the Big 12 Conference. I can't wait. I am so fired up for the season to be here. And I'm just fired up for the Big 12 to see what the future holds. Let's go to your questions, comments. Put them in the Facebook Live right now. We'll answer them here on Heartland College Sports. Scott writes, those 4 teams, meaning Arizona, Arizona State, Utah, Colorado, those 4 teams need to act fast because we know the Pac-12 will get picked apart again by the Big Ten. Yep, that's absolutely right. They will get picked apart. They will absolutely get picked apart again. There is no doubt about it. They will get picked apart again. It's only a matter of time. Kevin Warren's just slow playing this thing. And here's the other part of it. If you're a TV network, all right, if you're ESPN, if you're Fox, if you're NBC, if you're CBS, if you are one of those networks, why would you seriously bid on the Pac-12 after the report this week? Why would you go out there and spend money and resources and invest in broadcasters and cameramen if the Pac-12 is going to collapse in 2 years or it becomes a glorified Mountain West? Why would you do that? There's no point in doing that. Absolutely no point in going down that road. So this report this week, it didn't get a lot of traction that Oregon met with the Big Ten in Chicago, but it should have been like the biggest story. I know we all finally want to talk about games, and so do I, but that could be in many ways the final domino that basically collapses this conference. You know, and to me it was kind of Oregon maybe saying to the Pac-12, hey, kind of like when a girl dumps you, right? But she doesn't have the heart to really dump you. So she kind of starts giving you the cold shoulder, stops picking up your calls. You know, you can get the signals, you can get the signs and body language and other ways. That's kind of what this felt like. I don't think this accidentally leaked because rarely do stories in sports, politics, news just happen to leak. It's very rare that happens. And this does not feel like it was the case. Todd writes, oh wow, Todd's going down memory lane here. I have no recollection of you being at K101 radio. That is the first big radio station I was on in my career. Going back 2011 to 2013, I was there, Todd. Still have great friends in Woodward, Oklahoma. Outstanding people. This show, as a radio show, airs on Z92 in Woodward, Oklahoma. I'm now in Kansas City doing a morning show up here after a few years in New York City. So, yeah, I was at K101. I did the Friday night game of the week in 2011. I called the Boomers games in 2012 with Shane Smithton. Had a great time in Woodward, Oklahoma. And I want to get back there soon. I got 2 little kids now, so it's a tough 6-hour trek from Kansas City. But we were there. My wife and I visited friends in Woodward 4 years ago. We were there, Todd. So reach out to me personally if you want to go further down memory lane when it comes to Woodward, Oklahoma. Great people, some of the best people literally I've ever met in my life. Ryan writes, pick those 4 up. Pick those 4 Pac-12 schools up, then pick up the remains of the ACC after it collapses, filling around West Virginia. I love the enthusiasm, Ryan. I love it. But the ACC, I don't see that one collapsing. Now there's some thought that the SEC could go after Miami and Clemson and Florida State. That is, something that's been talked about. But the ACC has a pretty strong grant of rights deal that runs through 2034. They're all set up for the future. And I do believe a part of me does believe that even the SEC knows you don't want to get too big. All right? You do want to kind of try to temper this thing to a degree. And I think they'd be wise to do that and hold firm. So maybe, Ryan, maybe you're right. Maybe that happens, but that is, I mean, you never say never in college football realignment, right? We'd be stupid to say never on anything. But that feels like if it happens, that's 5 to 10 years away. All right. Mike on Facebook Live. San Diego State's an intriguing team. Great market the Big 12 could get into. I've seen my buddy Chris Williams at Cyclone Fanatic. He is just ragging on Utah fans, BYU fans. I think BYU fans like Chris Williams at Cyclone Fanatic more than they like whoever covers BYU at this point. I mean, they love that guy. And good for him. I mean, he's wisely welcomed BYU fans with open arms, which is a smart play. And we do too. We love you, BYU fans. All right, we're all about you. But there's been an interesting thought here to basically bail on Utah and go to San Diego State. We know that there's beef between Utah and BYU, but here's the thing. Here's why I want to bring in Utah. The Big 12 is going to be in a position with Oklahoma and Texas leaving, 4 new teams coming in. There's not going to be a great established set of rivalries. Yes, you'll have the former 8 Big 12 schools involved here, all right, the ones that are left. We know that. You're going to have, Farmageddon, K-State, Iowa State. You're still going to have Baylor, TCU is a good rivalry. Iowa State, Oklahoma State's become a heck of a rivalry in a weird way. But if you can get the Holy War into your conference, I think you do that, because the one thing the Big 12 is going to need time to establish is new rivalries. If you can have the Holy War in your league as a staple game every year, that is a lock for a solid, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, whatever. Maybe it's a little bit later than that. That is a primo game every year the Big 12 can lock in. That's a no-brainer. So I know people want to rag on, Utah a little bit and have BYU's back, and I'm all about it. But if we're truly looking at what's in the best interest of the conference, building a bigger conference that's good for TV networks and desirable for TV networks, I would bring in Utah. I would. Elijah, do you not think Utah would get picked up by the Big Ten along with Washington, Oregon, and maybe Stanford? Interestingly, no. The 4 teams that have gotten the most traction here from the Big Ten perspective, because remember, the Big Ten, you got to have that AAU status. Big academic status matters to them. If they go 4 more, Oregon, Washington, Stanford, and Cal. I know you're laughing at Cal, and you should. Cal's a joke. But you talk about the AAU institution that you want to have, which the Big Ten cares about, and let's be honest, too. You need bottom feeders. Every league needs bottom feeders. So if the Big 10 can expand with those 4, get a bottom feeder in Cal, fit the AAU status, all right? Like, they check off a lot of boxes there. So I don't think it would be Utah under that scenario, all right? So let's just keep tabs on that and see how it plays out. Pat writes, I remember Rick Majerus being frustrated with the A10 travel to and from St. Louis. I'm anxious to see how Huggy Bear, Bob Huggins, would feel going to Tucson for a Tuesday night game with a stop at Stillwater on the way home later that week. I don't think he'd ever please Huggy Bear. I don't know. Bob Huggins, not a guy you're going to please. I'll just put it that way. All right? Paul, if the Big Ten is worried about getting into the legal trouble for breaking up the Pac-10, Pac-12, wouldn't those same concerns apply to the Big 12? Well, I don't think so, because this all started because of the Big Ten. The Big 12's got a pretty easy out here. The Big 12's out is basically, hey, this league was vulnerable not because of anything we did, because of what USC, UCLA, and Kevin Warren and the Big Ten did. We're just here to pick up the scraps. If they want to leave, it's because they see the writing on the wall, nothing because of what we did. So I don't think, the antitrust conversation has come up. I don't think that's in any way something the Big 12 has to be worried about. The Big 10, yes. The Big 12, no. All right? I'm not seeing that. So before we continue here and wrap up the show, hey, if you are in Kansas, sports betting is coming your way. All right? And people ask, how can we support the show? You know how you can support the show? Just use our sponsors, subscribe to the show. That's a big way to support us. That's all we ask for here at Heartland College Sports. And if you are in Kansas right now, our friends at DraftKings, all right, are giving you $100 in free bets when you sign up using our promo code HCS at DraftKings. Plus, one lucky customer is going to win a $100,000 free bet. So, yes, $100 free bets at DraftKings. No deposit necessary at all. Just $100 in free bets with DraftKings using our promo code right now, HCS. So be sure to get that up when you sign up. It's a great way to be a part of the show. We appreciate you all being a part of this show all the time here at Heartland College Sports. So download that DraftKings Sportsbook app if you are in Kansas and get in on those free bets right now with our promo code HCS. And if you have a gambling problem, getting help is your best bet. Call 800-522-4700, 21 plus, physically present in Kansas. Eligibility restrictions apply. See terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. One per customer, $100 issued as 4 $25 free bets. No purchase necessary for sweepstake. Void where prohibited. Ends first day. DraftKings is allowed in Kansas. See terms at dkng.co/ks. All right. Scott on Facebook Live. Pete, what are your thoughts on the relentless belief by those clueless Pac-12 reporters who continue to believe the Pac-12 can poach Big 12 teams? Every one of them keeps saying Houston along with San Diego State. They're morons. They're homers and they're morons. There's nothing more to add. All right? Last year when the Big 12 was in this dilemma, we were honest with you. We shot you straight. We knew it wasn't looking good for a period of time. We rallied for our league. We love this league, but we didn't BS you. We told you when it was looking good. We told you when it was looking not so good. And we certainly didn't just kind of make things up that made our fan base feel better. And that's what you're seeing happening right now in Pac-12 country. And it's a joke. It's an absolute joke to watch this thing live. And watch some of these reporters out there, some national guys too, somehow make the case that the Pac-12 right now is in a better position than the Big 12. It's just it's comical. They've quieted down the last 4 or 5 weeks or so. They really have realized to tone it down because none of it makes an ounce of sense, and they are starting to realize it. So, great question there, Scott. Great question. Good to be with you guys. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Subscribe to us on YouTube, on the podcast. We so appreciate that. And Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, we are in all those places. A lot more video content is going to be coming your way this season. And please do support our friends at DraftKings. If you're in Kansas, the promo code HCS gets you $100 in free bets. I'm Pete Mundo. You guys have a great night. Season is right around the corner. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.